Kampen, a small, unassuming dot on the map of the Netherlands, nestled along the banks of the IJssel River. It's not the kind of place that screams for attention or pops up on a typical tourist radar. In fact, it's easy to overlook, tucked away in the province of Overijssel, far from the bustling streets of Amsterdam or the well-trodden paths of the Dutch countryside. But perhaps that's Kampen's greatest charm, its ability to exist quietly, almost anonymously, in a country known for its iconic cities and picturesque landscapes. At first glance, Kampen might seem like just another quaint Dutch town, the kind that you pass through on your way to somewhere else, barely slowing down to notice the details. But slow down you must, because Kampen has a way of sneaking up on you, weaving its way into your senses with every cobblestone street and gabled roof. It's the kind of place that, without warning, makes you wonder why you bothered to plan anything at all when such serendipity is possible. This is a town where history is not just preserved, it's lived. A place where the past and the present coexist so effortlessly that you find yourself losing track of time, wandering through the streets that seem to be stuck in a beautiful limbo. One minute you're questioning why you're here in this off-the-beaten-path location, and the next you're completely captivated, your camera's memory card filling up with images you never expected to take. Kampen doesn't demand your attention, it quietly earns it. And as you walk through its streets you realise that you stumbled upon something rare, a place that feels both deeply familiar and entirely new. As if you walked into a painting that you've always admired but never knew existed. This is Kampen, a town that doesn't try to impress, but leaves a lasting impression nevertheless. In the heart of Kampen, it's as if time itself decided to take a coffee break, sat down in a cosy corner cafe and simply never got up. This is a place where the past and the present are so intertwined that you can almost see the threads binding them together, pulling you into a tapestry of history and modern life. The towering church stands as the town's centrepiece, an anchor that has held Kampen steadily through the centuries of change. Like a wise elder, it presides over the town with a quiet dignity, its spire reaching for the heavens, while its foundations remain firmly rooted into the earth below. As you walk through the old town, you can feel the history under your feet. The cobblestones worn smooth by the footsteps of countless generations tell stories of traders, pilgrims and townsfolk who have walked these same streets. Each step is a journey through time, from the bustling markets of the Dutch Golden Age to the tranquil present, where life moves at a pace that invited reflection rather than rush. The houses that line these streets are a testament to that era, those quintessentially Dutch townhouses with their gabled facades and narrow towering profiles. They stand as silent witness to the passage of time, whispering tales of prosperity, struggle and resilience to those who take the time to listen. But don't be fooled by the old world charm that permeates every corner of Kampen. This town is not stuck in the past, far from it. Beneath the quaint postcard perfect exterior beats the heart of a community very much alive in the 21st century. It's a place where tradition and innovation coexist seamlessly, where you can feel the weight of history in the air yet never lack of the conveniences of modern life. Wi-Fi signals bounce off centuries-old brickwork, and smartphones capture moments in front of buildings that have stood for hundreds of years. It's as if the past and the present are simply different verses of the same song. Kampen's heart is one that beats steadily, a rhythm that has guided the town through the eras of change while preserving its essence. It's a place where every building, every street corner carries the echoes of what once was, yet pulses with the energy of what is and what will be. This is the soul of Kampen, a town that lives and breathes history without ever feeling like a relic. It's not just a place to visit, it's a place to experience, to feel and to remember. Sometimes the best experiences are the ones that you don't plan. I stumbled upon Kampen's street markets entirely by accident, like finding out that last perfect fry at the bottom of the bag, unexpected but utterly satisfying. The market unfolds before you in a riot of colours, sounds and scents, a vibrant tapestry woven in the very fabric of the town's daily life. It's a place where the ordinary becomes extraordinary, where every stall tells a story, and where the simple act of wandering can turn into a sensory adventure. The market is a lively blend of the practical and the indulgent, offering everything from knock-off clothing that might just pass for the real deal, to local pastries that don't just tempt you, they seduce you one flaky bite at a time. The scent of fresh bread mingles with the sharp tang of aged cheese, while the sizzle of street food wafts through the air, drawing you in with the promise of something deliciously unfamiliar. Each stall is a little world unto itself, a snapshot of Kampen's community spirit. And then there's the backdrop, the architecture that screams Dutch East India, with its rich history etched into every brick and beam. These buildings, once part of a global trading empire, now quietly watch over the market that trades in the currency of everyday life. The only spice routes here are the ones that lead to the food stalls, where the most exotic offerings might be freshly baked stroopel waffle or a piping hot broody herring. It's a far cry from the days of cloves and pepper, but the spirit of trade and exchange lives on, albeit in a more humble, homely form. This isn't a market put on for the tourists, with neatly arranged trinkets and curated experiences. No, this is the real deal, a slice of everyday life in Kampen, where locals come to haggle over prices, exchange gossip and go about their business in a casual rhythm that can only come from truly belonging to a place. There is no pretense here, no need to put on the airs to dress up for the camera. Kampen doesn't dress up for anybody, but somehow it's always ready for its close-up. Every corner, every stall, every interaction is authentic, and it's this authenticity that makes the market not just a place to buy and sell, but a living, breathing expression of the town's character. As you move through the markets, you become part of the flow, the ebb and tide of human connection that defines Kampen. It's not about the goods themselves, though they are tempting, but it's about the experience of being there, in the moment, surrounded by the hum of the voices and the rich aroma of the fresh produce and baked goods. It's a reminder that sometimes the best things in life are the simplest ones, and the market in a small Dutch town can be enriching as any grand tour. Because here in Kampen, life is lived in the details, and the street market is where those details come to life. If Kampen were a person, it would be that effortlessly photogenic friend who somehow manages to look good in every shot, regardless of the angle or the lighting. The kind of friend who doesn't need to try because their very candid moment is a picture-perfect one. Walking through Kampen is like stepping into a living postcard. Every corner you turn, every street you meander down, presents a new scene that begs to be captured, framed and remembered. It's as if the town itself knows it's being watched, and has perfected the art of looking naturally composed, yet never overdone. As you stroll through Kampen, you'll notice that even the smallest details seem to play a part in their town's aesthetics. The potted plants, for instance, aren't just there by accident. They're strategically placed pops of colour, as if they're part of a grand design, a vibrant palette that brings the cobblestone streets and historic buildings to life. Each pot, each bloom adds a brushstroke of the canvas, creating a scene that feels both intentional and delightfully spontaneous. It's this blend of careful curation and organic beauty that makes Kampen feel like a masterpiece in progress, a town that's always in the process of becoming something even more beautiful. But Kampen's charm isn't just its photogenic quality. It's the way that the town feels like a living, breathing work of art. It's not just the architecture, though the gabled houses and the centuries-old buildings certainly contribute to the allure. It's the way that the town holds itself, with a kind of relaxed elegance that's both inviting and slightly elusive. You get the sense that Kampen doesn't have to work hard to be beautiful. It just is. And that effortless beauty is what makes every stroll through these streets feel like a journey through an ever-changing gallery, where the exhibits are as varied as they are captivating. There's a casual rhythm to Kampen, a laid-back tempo that invites you to take your time, to linger at a corner, to pause and simply soak in the scene. It's a town that seems perfectly content with its own skin, not overly polished but never dishevelled. There is certainly a charm in the way that Kampen balances itself between the old and the new, the planned and the chaotic, and composed of the unfinished. There's a casual rhythm to Kampen, a laid-back tempo that invites you to take your time, to linger at a corner, to pause and simply soak in the scene. It's a town that seems perfectly content in its own skin, not overly polished, but never dishevelled. There's a certain charm in the way that Kampen balances itself between the old and the new, the planned and the chaotic, the composed and the unfinished. It's a place that understands that perfection is found not in the absence of flaws, but in the harmony of contrasts. As you walk through the Kampen streets, it's easy to get lost in the beauty of it all. But it's not just about what you see, it's about how the town makes you feel. There's a warmth, a sense of welcoming that permeates every corner, every alleyway. It's a feeling of being part of something timeless yet fleeting, like catching a glimpse of a moment that is as much about the future as it is about the past. Kampen isn't just a town you visit, it's an experience you live. A place that leaves you an imprint on your heart as much as it does on your camera's memory card. As the day began to wind down, I found myself drawn away from the bustling heart of Kampen and into its quieter suburban streets. Here the atmosphere changes subtly but unmistakably. The energy of the town centre gives way to a sense of calm and order, where life seems to slow down and breathe a little easier. The deep, lush greens of the gardens that line these streets tell a different story, one of dedication, pride and a profound connection to the land. These aren't just gardens, they're modern-day Edens, meticulously cared for and bursting with vitality. Every plant, every flower seems to thrive here, as if nourished here by more than just water and sunlight, but by the very essence of the community itself. Walking through these suburban streets, you quickly realise that these gardens are a labour of love. They're not just spaces for decorations or leisure, they're expressions of a deep-seated respect for nature and a commitment to the cultivating beauty and sustenance right at home. Walking through these suburban streets, you quickly realise that these gardens are a labour of love. They're not just spaces for decoration or leisure. They're expressions of a deep-seated respect for nature and a commitment to the cultivating beauty and its sustenance right at home. The care and attention lavished to each garden plot is evident in the way that the plants flourish, their leaves lush with green and their fruits and flowers vibrant with life. It's as if the very soil of Kampen is infused with a kind of quiet magic, transforming these suburban yards into something truly special, personal Edens that offer both beauty and bounty. But these gardens are more than just personal havens. They're a reflection of the close-knit community, built on trust, cooperation and a shared love for the land. In Kampen suburbs, the sense of community extends beyond the friendly greetings and shared spaces. It is woven into the very fabric of daily life. There's an unspoken understanding here, a mutual respect that allows these gardens to flourish openly without fences or barriers. It's a trust that has been earned over time, where neighbours watch out for one another, not out of suspicion, but out of a genuine desire to maintain the harmony that defines their community. Of course, this trust isn't blind. About halfway through my stroll, I was reminded of this when a local resident, polite but curious, approached me to ask me about my presence in their neighbourhood. The encounter was friendly. No tension, just a subtle reminder that here in Kampen, strangers don't go unnoticed. It was clear that this place is where people take pride in their surroundings and care deeply about the security and well-being of the community. It's not just a neighbourhood, it's a living, breathing organism, where every resident plays a part in maintaining the balance. As I continued my walk, I couldn't help but feel a pang of envy for those who call this place home. There's a serenity here, a sense of belonging that's hard to find elsewhere. These suburban streets, with their thriving gardens and watchful, caring residents, represent more than just a place to live. They embody a way of life, one that values connection, responsibility and the simple, profound joys of tending to the earth. It's a reminder that in Kampen, even the suburbs hold a kind of magic, offering a glimpse to what it means to truly live in harmony with the world around you. As I continued my walk, I couldn't help but feel a pang of envy for those who call this place home. There's a serenity here, a sense of belonging, that's hard to find elsewhere. These suburban streets, with their thriving gardens and watchful, caring residents, represent more than just a place to live. They embody a way of life, one that values connection, responsibility, and the simple, profound joys of tending to the earth. It's a reminder that in Kampen, even the suburbs hold a kind of magic, offering a glimpse of what it means to truly live in harmony with the world around you. Kampen may not be on the radar of most travellers, and perhaps that's its greatest strength. It's not a town that clamours for attention, doesn't put on the airs or try to be something that it's not. Instead, Kampen quietly beckons to those who are willing to look beyond the typical tourist traps and discover something more authentic. This isn't a place filled with manufactured experiences or curated photo opportunities. No, Kampen is the kind of town where real treasures are the ones that you weren't even looking for, unexpected moments that sneak up on you, filling your camera roll and your heart with memories that feel all the more special for their serendipity. In an age where destinations are often judged by how well they are packaged for social media, Camden remains refreshingly unfiltered. It may never trend on Instagram or become a viral sensation, but that's not the point. Those who do find their way to this small Dutch town will leave with something far more valuable than likes or followers. A genuine connection to a place that's rare as it is refreshing. Kampen offers a glimpse into the way of life that feels increasingly scarce in our fast-paced digital world. A life where history isn't just remembered but lived, where community isn't just a concept but a daily practice. As you reflect on your time in Kampen, it becomes clear that the true winners here are the people who are fortunate enough to call this place home. They live in a town where the past and the present don't just coexist, they dance together in perfect harmony. The echoes of history reverberate through the cobblestone streets and historic buildings, yet there's vibrancy in the presence, a sense of life that pulses through every market stall, every garden, every conversation. Kampen is a place where tradition and modern aren't at odds, but complement each other, creating a unique rhythm that is both comforting and invigorating. In the end, Kampen is more than just a destination. It's an experience, a feeling, a slice of life that lingers with you long after you've left its charming streets behind. It's a reminder that some of the best places aren't those that shout the loudest, but those that whisper their secrets to those who are willing to listen. Kampen doesn't need to be anything more than this, because what it is more than enough. It's a town that, once discovered, isn't easily forgotten, and for those who have had the privilege of living here, it's a place where the past and the present come together to create a future that is as bright as it is rooted in tradition.